What would you do if an angel appeared and told you that in days you will be sent to hell? This dark fantasy takes place in a world where monsters suddenly show up and drag people to hell. In a calm cafe, we see a man anxiously checking his phone. At 1:20 p.m., we suddenly hear loud stomping noises echo in the distance, coming closer and closer until the monstrous, shadowy creatures arrive, finally bursting through the glass of the coffee shop. These terrifying beasts charge down the street, relentlessly pursuing their target until they finally catch up to the man, who, it turns out, knew they were coming all along. Attacking him, the man is left bloodied and helpless as the creatures lean forward, holding out their hands, and incinerate him on the spot, leaving nothing but his burned body. At the police station, detectives Kyung-hun and Eun-pyo are being briefed on the victim, who had been living alone after getting a divorce. Tasked with investigating the situation, Kyung-hun is surprised to learn about the involvement of a mysterious new religious group called the New Truth. In fact, back in the cafe, we'd heard a group of friends talking about the New Truth before the attack. Led by the elusive Jung Jin-soo, the New Truth is rumored to be connected to a violent gang known as Arrowhead, with ties to high-ranking members of society, including influential politicians and wealthy chaebols. Intrigued, Kyung-hun heads to the crime scene, where the New Truth is holding a gathering. Through the loudspeakers, Jin-soo addresses the crowd. As he talks, Jin-soo's main claim is that the deadly creatures are a punishment sent by God to condemn sinners who are living unpunished. Suddenly, Kyung-hun is surprised when his own teenage daughter, named Hee-jung, shows up. It turns out that she has been doing some volunteer work for the New Truth. Through Hee-jung, Kyung-hun meets Jin-soo, who is creepily close to Hee-jung. Kyung-hun quickly realizes there's more to the man than meets the eye. Despite being the leader of the New Truth and receiving praise wherever he goes, Jin-soo rides public transport and shares his troubled past. He recounts growing up in an orphanage and how his desire to end his life led him to the Tibetan plains, where he witnessed the terrifying creatures turn a man to ash. According to Jin-soo, the moment gave him a newfound purpose, as he interpreted it as a divine message from God, instructing him to personally help sinners repent and guide others toward a righteous life and religion. However, as they talk, Kyung-hun remains skeptical. There is something suspicious about Jin-soo, especially when he brings up painful memories of Kyung-hun's murdered wife, subtly nudging at his unresolved grief. Although Jin-soo dismisses the rumors of the New Truth's ties to the Arrowhead gang, Kyung-hun's curiosity is piqued, and he begins digging into Jin-soo's past, along with the case of his own wife's murder. The next day, Kyung-hun deals with an assault case after the Arrowhead thugs beat a novelist nearly to death. The victim is represented by a smart lawyer named Min Hae-jin. At the same time, we meet Park Jung-ja, a woman shaken by a terrifying visit from the prophet Angel, who ominously announces that she has only 5 days before she is bound to hell. Going to Hae-jin and Kyung-hun for advice, Jung-ja reveals that she has gone to get help from the New Truth, who wants to broadcast her final moments going to hell. Kyung-hun and Hae-jin are horrified, but with 2 kids to think about, the $3 billion that the New Truth is offering could make a huge difference in their lives. So, despite Hae-jin encouraging her to refuse the offer, Jung-ja takes the New Truth up on their deal. Jin-soo soon arrives at Jung-ja's home with a folder of legal documents, pressing her to finalize the deal and even making uncomfortable comments about her family situation, and implying that her status as a single mother is why she's being targeted for hell. At the same time, a skull mask live streamer and leader of the Arrowhead, who is responsible for a lot of the misinformation and chaos around the New Truth, leaks Jung-ja's personal details online, putting her and her family in grave danger. As Kyung-hun will soon learn, Detective Eun-pyo has been an Arrowhead follower this whole time, and it was he who gave Jung-ja's details to the crazy Skull Mask man. As Kyung-hun and Hae-jin scrambled to protect Jung-ja's children, who were also exposed on the livestream, arranging for them to fly to Canada, the Skull Mask streamer and his followers ponder over what sin Jung-ja must have committed to be bound to hell. Using the New Truth's teachings to tap into the crowds of people who feel wronged in modern society, the Skull Mask man turns them into a mob. Late that night, Hee-jung goes to Jin-soo's apartment, and Jin-soo takes Hee-jung to confront her mother's killer. Together, they burn the man alive using an incinerator in the countryside, a twisted murder that leaves Hee-jung in tears, yet smiling. You see, all this time Hee-jung has been blaming herself for her mother's death, making her an easy target for a predator like Jin-Soo. At the same time, the nation is bracing itself for Jung-ja's descent into hell. Although Kyung-hun at first doesn't believe that any of the major broadcasting companies will buy into the New Truth show, when the day comes, all the TV networks are ready to air the event live. In addition to the cameras, a massive crowd, including a group of masked VIPs, gather outside Jung-ja's home just to witness her impending fate. As the timer nears 0, the shadowy creatures show up again, and despite Kyung-hun trying to shoot at them to stop them, Jung-ja ends up getting violently beaten and burned to death before a stunned audience. This horrific event sends shockwaves through the crowd, with many dropping to their knees to pray, while Haejin and Kyung-hun stand there, deeply disturbed. As mass panic grips the country, Jin-Soo, now hailed as a celebrity, makes the most of the chaos. In contrast, Kyung-hun grows more and more suspicious, especially after spotting the hoodie of his wife's killer's killer on the news, and now in Jin-Soo's apartment. But as he and Haejin have now become public enemies for trying to help Jung-ja, aka the sinner, rather than immediately going to the police, Kyung-hun turns his focus to finding Hee-jung, who hasn't returned home. Luckily, he doesn't have to panic for long, as Kyung-hun soon gets a call from Jin-Soo saying that he knows where Hee-jung is. Meeting Jin-Soo at an abandoned school, Jin-Soo confesses that 20 years ago at this school, he too received the decree from the prophet angel foretelling his own death. This is what led him to create the New Truth, so that everyone can be as afraid as he is. And that clock that's been ticking for 20 years, well, it's running out right now. Kyung-hun is given 2 options. He can either film Jin-Soo being taken to hell and expose how the creatures actually have nothing to do with sinning at all, since Jin-Soo mentions that before getting the decree, he had lived a sin-free life, but this would cause panic and riots to break out. Or he can go home to his daughter and the world controlled by the New Truth. Kyung-hun chooses to watch as the creatures drag Jin-Soo to hell and head home. Meanwhile, Haejin goes to confront Jong-chil, a priest, and the only other person who knows that Jin-Soo got the decree. However, little does she know that, as the next leader of the New Truth, his first course of action is going to be taking her out. As she exits his office, a group of thugs from Arrowhead appears, mercilessly attacking her with pipes and leaving her for dead. Jumping 4 years into the future, with Jong-chil as their chairman, the New Truth has taken full control, becoming a global powerhouse. During a TV broadcast meeting, producer Bae Young-jae clashes with the cult's representatives who are unhappy with the edited promotional video for the New Truth. Yoo-ji, a deacon from the New Truth, and under Jong-chil argues that the shot showed too much emotion on the sinner's face, and that the sinner should not be glamorized. As tensions rise, Young-jae's colleague quickly shuts him down. Nobody can speak against the New Truth anymore. After the tense meeting, Young-jae finds himself stuck re-editing the New Truth video he had been working on, despite his wife being at the hospital, anxiously awaiting news about their newborn in intensive care. As Young-jae works late, he gets a worried call from the wife of his colleague, Jun-won. Concerned, Young-jae decides to go to the fishing spot that Jun-won had scribbled on the back of the business card for Sodo Quick Loans and heads out. Meanwhile, at the hospital, the prophet angel visits Young-jae's baby, decreeing that the child has only 3 days to live. As Young-jae arrives at the fishing spot, he finds Jun-won, who reveals that he has been declared bound to hell and plans to die in secret to spare his family the shame. In fact, he's working with the Sodo law firm, led by Haejin, who hides the death of those condemned. As the hell creatures arrive and kill Jun-won, a mysterious group of people from Sodo show up and get rid of the evidence. It's as if nothing happened. After witnessing the tragedy, Young-jae gets taken away and is warned to forget what he saw, or else he will find trouble. The Sodo people put Young-jae to sleep. He knocks out. The next morning, while the other investigators come up empty-handed, unable to find any trace of Jun-won, Deacon Yoo-ji spots the business card. Waking up in the middle of nowhere and returning to the hospital, Young-jae finds his wife, So-hyun, devastated by their baby's decree, and he's left heartbroken. Grappling with how it could even be possible that his newborn son is a sinner deserving of being sent to hell, Young-jae starts researching Sodo. Meanwhile, Deacon Yoo-ji visits Yong-sok, the next person marked for hell. Here, he finds another business card linked to Sodo, this time marked Sodo Laundry Service. Both Young-jae and Yoo-ji are on the hunt for answers. Remembering the same professor from the news who warned him named Yong-jun, Young-jae goes to talk to him. Yong-jun explains that the Sodo group is protecting those with decrees from going through the same humiliation ritual that Jung-ja was put through. Hyun-Joo also points out that the decree is like an earthquake. It's a natural disaster that has nothing to do with how you live your life. When the new truth stages another public demonstration, with Yongsok's Hellbound death broadcasted everywhere, watching how the cult humiliates not only the sinner but also their family, Hae-jin manages to convince Young-jae that they have to expose the decree given to his innocent baby. However, when Young-jae returns home, he finds So-hyun in distress, blaming herself for their child's fate. Just as Young-jae prepares to reveal their son's decree, the Soto members start being ruthlessly hunted down by the Arrowhead thugs. Hyung-joon is brutally killed, and Hae-jin is forced to escape. So-hyun, desperate for answers, takes their baby to the New Truth headquarters, leaving Young-jae in a panic. Shocked, Young-jae rushes to find So-hyun, who, having shown the New Truth the video of her baby receiving the decree, is horrified when the cult members ask her for the baby and take the baby away. As for the leaders of the New Truth, they are left scrambling. If the video of a newborn baby receiving the decree gets out, it would prove that everything they had been saying with such conviction is false. Amid the chaos, Hae-jin suddenly appears alongside Young-jae as a staged distraction at the headquarters gives them the opportunity to rescue the baby. Escaping into hiding, Hae-jin, Young-jae, So-hyun, and their baby head to a secluded house where a man named Dong-wook is offering to help them upload the video exposing the baby's decree. However, it's soon revealed that Dong-wook is the infamous Skull Mask leader from Arrowhead, and he's been playing both sides. What's more, Dong-wook has received the decree and is set to die 5 minutes after the baby. Somehow, the New Truth has convinced him that this timing means he is the Messiah. Turning on Hae-jin, Young-jae, and So-hyun, Dong-wook ends up fighting them. Luckily, Hae-jin manages to protect the baby. As the beasts arrive, So-hyun and Young-jae shield their child from the monsters, sacrificing themselves for their baby, who miraculously ends up surviving. Everyone who is watching and filming is shocked to see the baby alive. Dong-wook rushes towards the baby, but before Dong-wook can kill the baby, the beasts show up. It's his turn. The New Truth's credibility crumbles as the public begins to see the truth. When an old man questions Deacon Yuji, he loses control and assaults the man, leading to his arrest. As Hae-jin escapes with the baby into the night, Jeong-jae, whose death set off everything that has happened since, suddenly is brought back from the dead.